Hey guys, Chrono here. My goodness, it's been a while since I talked to you guys. So, yeah, let's go over what just happened and where we're going from here. So, first off, about a month ago, Warmerise came back. That was fun. I was actually there on launch night. That was interesting. Basically, what happened was that so many people joined the game and, tried to register for an account that we managed to crash the website. That was great fun. From there, the problems just kind of got worse. We discovered at some point that users who had made an account but had not verified it were still receiving 50,000 cash, but they were not counting towards the member list on the main page. So what was happening was we had more than 1,000 accounts, but fewer than 1,000 were registered. So there was the member list on the main members page. It said that there were like 500 members or something like that, but nobody who had freshly registered was getting any cash. So we were like, that's weird. That's kind of disappointing, actually. Like, why is this happening? So at some point, Max came on and he explained it to us, and so now I'm left explaining this to other people. This is one of the downsides of becoming a mod, by the way. People think that you're going to perform moderator duties even after you're no longer a moderator, which I'm fine with. I'm happy to answer questions, but my God, can you people please just try and answer your own questions first? I cannot even begin to count the number of people who asked me about the cash issue. That was really frustrating for me. It was really frustrating for them. It was just not a great time in general. Fortunately, that time seems to be over now that the member count is above 1,000 and people, don't need to think about whether or not they should get it, because they obviously do not. After that particular event was complete, we started to switch to a new fiasco, and that would be Warmerise being ported to WebGL. WebGL is a very, very, very experimental technology in its current state, and porting a web player game into WebGL doesn't always work the way you expect it to be, especially for a game as complex as Warmerise is. So what ended up happening was that we were getting incredibly low frame rates and bugs and stuff like that. I am not a bad player. I'm not great, but I'm not bad. I was going negative every single game because my frame rate was so low that I could not aim without significant input lag. It was unplayable, and it made me completely stop playing the game. Fortunately, Max seems to be on a streak of fixes lately. He's been a very good developer, and it's kind of weirding me out. He, 2 days later, decided that this was not working, so he switched it back to web player. Unfortunately, this means that it can only be played on Firefox, which I have since replaced with Chrome, which kind of sucks, but, whatever. So with those problems out of the way, that leaves Max plenty of time to start importing new features. These features include a replacement for the Christopher V with a model for a UMP40, and a new grenade which bounces instead of sticking, which is kind of cool, but whatever. There have also been quite a few changes that have been things that the community has been asking for a long time. Specifically, spec jumping has been completely removed, basically. If you join spectators with less than 70 HP, that will count as one death on your profile. Is that going to be effective? I don't know. Probably not, but it's a change that the community has been asking for, and I'm super thrilled to see that Max is actually starting to develop the things that we've been asking for such a long time. Another thing that the community has again been asking for is the disabling of XP in private TDM servers so that you can't farm XP. That's fantastic. That's how the top 100 in the last game were staying on the top 100. They were just using private lobbies and then just joining public ones whenever they wanted to have some fun instead of, not farming. These are good changes, and I'm super thrilled to see Max being as active as he is. In the past, this hasn't been the case. Especially right before the game was shut down, it was like pulling teeth to try and get an answer about anything from him. But now he's listening to the community, he's responding to posts, he's adding features that people want to see, and I love that. I think it's fantastic, and I'm super proud of him for doing what he's doing. This is a great change. So, moving on from praising Max, I want to talk just a little bit about myself and my channel. For the last couple of weeks, I've been spending a lot of time on a different gaming server, and it's been a rather enlightening experience. Basically, when I joined, everyone was super happy to welcome me to the server, and as I kept playing, they were all really happy to see me. But more than that, we were all really happy to be there for each other. It was not a drama-filled community. It was a genuine, excitement to see each other. Because we only get so many hours in a day. Why would you spend all those hours involved in drama? You wouldn't. It's a waste of time. And that whole behavior pattern was completely foreign to me. It was kind of unsettling for a while. At some point I came to realize I had been spending so much time with the Warmerise community that I had forgotten what it was like to be a part of a group that genuinely cares about each other. And that was kind of a shock to figure out. So I've been hanging out in there for the multitude of reasons. Basically, we've been just playing whatever we want to play and just hanging out and having fun. At some point I came back to the Warmerise community just to see, what was going on, and it was kind of a cesspool, to be honest. Now, to be fair, that cesspool has mostly died off. That was within about a week of release that the forums were kind of a mess. It's mostly evened out right now, and it's in a much better place. If you had asked me 2 weeks ago whether or not we needed moderators, I probably would have said yes. If you ask me today, I honestly don't know if I could answer. The forums are in a better place, but that doesn't change how people act in-game. In-game, you've got people who will die to you and then call you a hacker immediately, even though it was just a shot. Like, I missed 4 sniper rounds at a guy who was shooting back at me. It was a really, really sad display of my skill. I missed 4 shots, finally hit him twice in the torso, and he called me a hacker. I missed 4 times. It took us like 30 seconds to do that entire encounter, and somehow I'm a hacker for it. Whatever, that's fine. The other problem, which isn't really necessarily a problem, but it's kind of irritating for me, is that the majority of the population appears to speak Spanish. And I don't have a problem with, people who speak Spanish playing games. The problem is I don't understand them, and I wish I did. So I don't really know what to do about that, but it's just a little irritating. Basically, whenever I join into a match, I complete the match, and I ask myself, do I want to keep playing this game? And my answer is usually no. This game is not the same game that I played in the summer of 2014. It's not the same game that I learned about the Chris on. It's not the same game where I mastered the gravity gun. It's not the same game I started my channel to help. Which leads me into phase 2 of this video. I'm going to be completely removing myself from the Warmerise community in terms of my channel. I will continue to be active on the forums, and I will continue to post occasionally on my timeline thing, but I'm not going to be doing anything in depth anymore. If you'll permit me a moment of narcissism, I think I have helped the community. I like to think that my videos have inspired people to make their own channels, to think harder about the game and about balance. I don't know if this is true or not, but I like to think that I at least helped somebody play the game. And when I started my channel, there was a gap to fill in the community. There was no in-depth sort of tutorial style content. There was gameplays, there was 1v1s, and those things certainly still exist, but I think that because I made my channel, more people started to do more informational content, both on the forums and on YouTube. Channels like Deathbringer, posts like Seth/BitSniping, wherever you know him as. He does super awesome stuff, and so does Deathbringer. I like to think I helped with that because, well, I don't think that the gap that I came to fill is there anymore. A part of the problem with my channel, and it's been a problem since I made it, is that my videos are designed to help new players, but the only people who watch it are veterans. That doesn't help them. It doesn't help really anybody at all if I can't get my videos to new players, and I don't know really how I want to do that, so I'm deciding not to do it at all. Someone will come at some point, they will replace me, and they will be making videos that are even better than mine. I thoroughly encourage that. I'm happy to help them even if they need help getting started with recording or editing or whatever. I'm totally happy to help. But I don't want to do content for Warmerise anymore. I do want to keep doing sort of the Chrono Own style video for a while, because I think I have more to say about game design, game balance, that sort of thing. I know it seems like the change to game design sort of content has seemed like a recent thing, and like it seems like maybe I had done it just because Warmerise had ended. I've actually wanted to do this for a rather long time. This is not a new thing for me. I enjoy talking about balance and design because it's a bunch of really interesting topics all interweaving. And I think that there's a lot of room for creativity in the game design industry, and I like that a lot. So ultimately, what does this mean in hard terms? Well, I'm going to make one more Warmerise video. I intend it to be a review and possibly a little strategy, but ultimately, I just want it to be my thoughts on the game from the perspective of someone who's been here for the last 3 years, who has been at the kind of the top of the community and back. I want to give my thoughts on what this game is to me. So you can expect that at some point in the far future. I'm not going to rush that video because rushed videos suck. I think you can tell in some of my content what's been rushed and what hasn't, because the rushed content will really, really suck. So, yeah, you can expect that at some point in the future. I'm also going to be postponing Chrono Owns because I honestly don't have that much time. I'm in college right now, and most of my free time is being spent on that gaming server that I pointed out earlier in the video, and I just haven't felt like I had anything I wanted to say. But those will be coming back in the future. I don't know if they'll come back before or after the review, but that'll happen at some point. Anyway, I hope this video isn't too overwhelming because it's getting kind of long now. That's what she said. Yeah, I will see you guys next time. Be kind to one another. Don't go starting shit on the forums. We don't have mods to clean that up anymore. So, yeah, be good to one another, and I'll see you guys next time.